The moment she walked through that door, everything changed, and she had no idea I already knew the truth. It was well past midnight when I heard her heels clicking outside, uneven and clumsy, like she was trying hard to walk straight but couldn't quite manage it. The door slowly creaked open, and there she was, Lisa, my wife of 6 years. Her makeup was slightly smeared, her hair messy, and that same careless smile rested on her face, like nothing in the world could ever shake her. "Hey, babe," she said softly, tossing her purse onto the couch the same way she always did after her girls' nights. "You're still awake?" Usually I would have smiled, maybe joked with her a little, then helped her into bed. That had always been our routine. But tonight, I stayed exactly where I was in the dim living room, without moving an inch. "Yeah," I answered calmly, my voice steady, almost too steady. She stopped for a second. Something about the room must have felt different. "Everything okay?" I nodded toward the dining table. "Sit down, I have something for you." She lifted an eyebrow, confused but interested. "What is this? Some kind of surprise?" She laughed as she walked over and pulled out a chair. In a way, it was. A neatly wrapped box sat in the center of the table, plain and simple. No ribbon, no care, just like the lies she'd been feeding me for months. Her eyes brightened slightly. "You didn't have to do this," she said with a smile as she started opening it. I watched her closely, every movement, every tiny change in expression, because earlier that night I had already seen who she really was. The moment she lifted the lid, she froze. Inside the box were printed photographs, dozens of them. Her smile disappeared as she picked one up with trembling fingers. One photo showed her laughing, not with her friends, but with him. Another showed him holding her hand outside a bar. Another captured him kissing her neck while she leaned into him like I had never existed. "What is this?" she whispered, her voice unsteady. I leaned back in my chair and crossed my arms. "That's your girl's night." Her face instantly turned pale. "I can explain." "No," I cut in sharply. "You've had months to explain. I just didn't know I needed to hear it." Tears filled her eyes, but I felt absolutely nothing. No anger, no heartbreak, only clarity. "I followed you tonight," I continued. "Funny thing is, I wasn't even suspicious at first. I was just curious. But then I saw you with him, the way you looked at him." I slowly shook my head. "You never looked at me like that." Now she was crying, reaching across the table toward me. "It didn't mean anything, I swear. It was a mistake." "A mistake?" I let out a quiet laugh and shook my head again. "Mistakes don't happen every weekend, Lisa." Silence swallowed the room, thick and suffocating. Then I slid one last thing across the table, an envelope. She stared at it nervously before opening it with shaky hands. As her eyes moved across the papers, her whole body stiffened. "You're divorcing me?" she asked, barely able to get the words out. "I already filed," I replied calmly. "Those are your copies." Her chair scraped loudly against the floor as she stood up. "You're throwing away 6 years over this?" I stood too, finally looking directly into her eyes. "No," I said evenly. "You threw it away. I'm just cleaning up what's left." That was when she completely broke down, sobbing as she tried grabbing my arm, but I stepped back. "I gave you everything," I said quietly. "Loyalty, trust, a future, and you traded all of it for cheap nights and even cheaper lies." "Please, we can fix this," she begged, but I was already walking toward the door. I stopped for one brief moment without turning around. "Oh, and one more thing," I said coldly. "He's married too. I figured his wife deserved to see those pictures as well." Behind me, her crying turned into pure panic, and for the first time in months, I finally felt free.